Welcome back to On the Peg with me, your host, that unsupervised toyaholic that you all know and love. Well, at least a few of you do. Of course, I'm the Mad Munchalma, and it's Friday. It's Friday night, and we have action figures up the wazoo. Woof. Yeah, more stuff came in. This came in this week. Yes, the Gold Label Central Park. But we're not doing him today. No. I figure I want to get some stuff that's on my shelf over here taken care of. We also got the new Max Mercury and the Vampire Shazam. But I figured today, well, I feel like doing Mega Batman, number 16. In other words, it's a countdown. We're going to be doing the Connor Kent Superboy. Ho-ho! But we're not going to stop there. No, as you know, we always do more than one, more than two. We're going to be doing Sergeant Rock. So 16, 15, and 14. But we'll also be doing the variant of Sergeant Rock as well. Now, I did get, of course, the Superboy variant. And I also got the Manga Bat variant. But I'm going to save those for another day. I figure I don't want to, take up too much time. The Sergeant Rock, I have a reason why I won't open it up. But we're going to start today. As you can tell, we're doing it reverse, doing a countdown. We're going 16, 15, 14. There's a reason for that. And you'll understand when we get to number 14. But I want to start off today with Mega Bat. That's right, the Manga Batman. Oh, now if you don't know who Manga Bat is, where have you been? Seriously. Manga's been around for ages, a long time. And Manga Bat was pretty much brought to life by, I'll probably butcher his name, Mr. Kuwata. So what do you say we get Manga Batman out of the package? Let's take a look at him and let's see what I think of this version of the Bat. Yes, you know what time it is, right? Mr. Scalpel time! Back in a moment. Well, I didn't show you all the accessories Mega Bat comes with. He's got a red batarang, rope, real rope, spare hands, of course, a weird top, and I think that's supposed to be a spyglass. Now, I haven't read a Manga Bat manga in a while. I should read them online. I wouldn't mind having these put together in a nice collection because I do remember that the Manga Batman had a nice assortment of villains, different type villains. You saw one in the close-up I did when I did the close-up. But what do I think of Manga Bat? Well, let's just put it this way. I love this Batman. I love the colors. I mean, this is a nice shade of gray. I like the gray. I even like this gray. The symbol, that black on a slightly muted orange, I love it. The cowl, I actually like the fact that the cowl has, the black faceplate and the white lines. It makes me think I'm a kid again. This is, and it's a good Batman. I like the fact, I mean, yes, I know some people out there going, well, it's a reused body. Who cares? This is Batman. I mean, this makes me think when I'm a kid. This is the comic books I read when I was a kid. Basically, this is what I look at this and I went, this isn't the Adam West crazy, silly Batman. No, this Batman is basically the Batman I kind of remember reading when I was a kid. You know, they had that kind of like, kind of a little smirk smile to him. You know, because not every Batman comic I ever got was in color. A lot of them were just black and white reprints. Yes, French comic books when I was a kid were in black and white. They were reprints, and the wording didn't seem to make sense sometimes. But you know, getting English comic books wasn't always easy. Sometimes I did have quite a few, but this makes me think of those old black and white Batman comic books I would get and read. And right off the bat, I'm going to say it right now. Even though I don't have a manga shelf, I really hope that McFarlane Toys makes the entire line of Manga Bat figures. I think it'd be great. I would love to see the Manga Bat villains. That'd be cool. It'd be so much fun to see that. And let's just put it this way. When I do get more shelves, front of the shelf, no question about it, Manga Bat. This one is one I do say go out and get it. You're going to feel sorry if you don't. And I am going to wait until I actually have a proper shelf for him before I open up the white version of this. And trust me, the white looks super good too. But I figure, you know, I'll wait till I have a proper display for Manga Bat, and I think it's great. The accessories, nice accessories. This one is a must get. You have to get this one. And I'm so happy that, you know, down at the Dorito Center, to me, the best GameStop in all of Canada, I was able to get these on pre-order, and they got the variant, and I managed to get the variant. So thank you once again to those guys. But let's move on. Let's leave Manga Bat off to the side for now. I know it's painful to put a toy down. But next we're going to do Connor Kent. The Teen Titans Connor Kent. Okay, as you see, he comes with an alternate head, a Lex Luthor head as well. It's got a weird rock thing. Now, the variant is basically the same body, except all they did was they put the bald Lex Luthor type head and they basically put an L on the shirt. That's why I'm not in a rush to open it up, because I figure it's basically the same figure. I'm happy I got the variant. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy I got that, but I think it's Mr. Scalpel time yet again. Okay, just before we get into Connor, Mr. Scalpel got hungry. He wanted me to take out all the accessories for Batman Manga. So there's that. There's the rope with the batarang or the batter hook. Okay. He also came with 4 hands. He also came, I call this, I thought it was a spyglass. I think it still is, but it also might be a club. I'd have to go back and look up some reference material. And here's the top. Now, I do vaguely remember that one of the villains he had in the manga was a kind of spinning top guy. Okay. Let's get back to Connor Kent. Well, as you saw in the close-up, he comes with a flying base. He comes with a regular shitty base. These bases suck. He comes with spare hands. He comes with the card. There's no card holder this time, because apparently fans didn't like them. I didn't mind them. They're better than the bases. And he also comes with the 2 heads. You have the I am bald and I have my glowing eyes. And I'm just Connor Kent the way he normally is, especially in Young Justice, Grangry. But I didn't change the heads. I left the, okay, I'm kind of like the pretty boy Connor Kent face, as you saw in the close-up. Now, I will give McFarlane Toys credit. This is actually a base. 2 pegs. It actually holds him. Keep this up. Keep giving us bases with 2 pegs that actually hold the figure up. I like that. I like the fact that there's a flying base as well. I like having alternate heads. As for the figure itself, well, when I saw this body, I kept on thinking, makes me think of that Spawn 2-pack where Todd's original drawing of Spawn was with Todd bare feet. It honestly makes me think of that same body. Because to me, Connor Kent is pretty beefy at this point in the comic books. He is pretty much 22-year-old. He's buff. He's as buff as Superman basically is. This is not buff. No, a bit disappointing. I like the fact that, you know, he's got the red S. So at least maybe more people now won't bug me when they see my hoodie that has the red S and go, hey, Supergirl. I've had that happen. I have a hoodie, nice red S, hey, Superman, hey, it's Connor Kent. So no, this one, it's a little disappointing. I'm a bit bummed by it, actually. I was hoping that when they announced they're doing a Connor Kent, he'd be a lot more buff. He'd be bigger. He'd be like, kind of like a young Superman, not a skinny Superboy. But then again, so far, maybe it's just me. McFarlane Toys, when it comes to doing teenagers, well, they made Impulse too tall, too big. I won't even get into all the Robins. The Damien Robin, the head sculpt is massive compared to every other figure in that universe. And it is. If you actually look at Damien Robin, his head is massive. His head's bigger than his dad's. I'm just saying. So I think McFarlane has to realize that, yes, you do 7-inch figures, but not every figure has to be exactly 7 inches. You can make them a bit smaller, but better detail in the face. Now, he is going to go on the shelf, because I do want to have a Teen Titans shelf complete one of these days. And I know they're making a Cyborg. I've been demanding a Cyborg for a while. And when I look at the pictures of Cyborg, I just hope that gun hand they show him with is not the only arm he has. I'm hoping that can come off and you have a regular arm. Please. And it's still not the George Perez Cyborg. Is it just me? Do I honestly think the original design for Cyborg is the best design for Cyborg? I think it is. It looks good. He looks like a decent human being who's cybernetic, not full giant robot with a human half face. I don't know what DC Comics has done to Cyborg. I'm not a big fan of what they turn him into, but we'll have to wait and see. But next, well, we're going to get to the one that I've been saving for last. And I know a lot of commentators out there are saying, well, why'd they make Sergeant Rock? Why? It's for people like me. I am lucky enough, if you guys remember some of my Season 2 videos, there was a framed 2-page splash page of Sergeant Rock from the Executioners issue, done by Sam Glasman. That's a signed original art. Oddly enough, I don't have that one comic book, the Executioners one, but I grew up with Sergeant Rock. I grew up reading G.I. Combat, Unknown Soldier, the Western comics, and so did a lot of people. And the reason why I think they did is because McFarlane Toys is recognizing not only its collector's base, adults, but it's also recognizing that some of those stories that were told back in these Sergeant Rock comic books, G.I. Combat, Unknown Soldier, Men at War comic books, those are some of the best stories ever written in comic books. And you can't prove me wrong. They are some of the best stories ever written. Sergeant Rock, for example, was mostly drawn by Jack Kubert, but it was also drawn by Sam Glasman. But some of the topics they touched on wasn't just, oh, we're giving a war story. Unlike Marvel's the Howling Commandos, with Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, where it was a lot of just, we're going to beat the bad guys. Sergeant Rock actually dealt with the effects of war. You know, he showed the aftermath of a battle. Kids homeless, kids with no parents. He actually got into more complete, complex stories. And as a kid reading that, I was like, wow. You read a Superman comic book, Superman fights Lex Luthor, puts him in jail, Lex Luthor is free. You read a Sergeant Rock comic book, and you were like, this is serious. This isn't a joke. So I'm very happy when they announced they're doing a Sergeant Rock. So of course, I had to make sure I pre-ordered my Sergeant Rock. And here he is. Now, as for the Army Green one, I get it, okay? I'm probably not going to open it after all because I don't really feel I need to. I can explain why they did that because, once again, people like me, and hopefully you, if you were lucky enough to grow up reading Sergeant Rock, by the way, that's Joe Kubert's artwork in the back there. If you grew up reading Sergeant Rock, you probably had a whole bunch of little green army men. You know those little toys that were just pre-posed? They still make them. It's weird. But back in those days, those army men were either really small, about maybe 1.5 inches, or about basically 6 inches. You had 6-inch PVC posed army guys. So I kind of get why they did the Army Green Sergeant Rock. I get it, okay? It's to bring back that little bit of nostalgia. You know, to make a variant, well, let's do a nostalgia one. I honestly wish they would have done something else instead of this. To me, I think maybe GI Combat reference, or maybe the Unknown Soldier. Who knows? Maybe we'll still get those. I'm kind of hoping that McFarlane Toys keeps doing these World War II DC comic books because there's so much potential there. There is a lot of potential. But before we start talking about that some more, we'll let Mr. Scalpel have his fun, free rock from his plastic prison, and we'll be back right after this. Alright, as you saw in the close-up, Sergeant Rock comes with his backpack, which is removable. He's got the World War II shovel. He's got a knife. Now, the shovel, the backpack, and the knife are really, first of all, the wrong colors for the most part. They're not the right colors. This should actually be a slightly darker green. This should have some brown. The blade should be like a metallic silver blade or like a steel blade. Not overly crazy with the backpack. The helmet, okay, does come off. That's right. I did have to heat the strap to put it down. Now the helmet, I hate to say it, might be based on a Korean helmet because there was a slight variation. If you're a history buff, you'll notice that there's a slight variation in the helmets after World War II. Now overall, I have the figure. But before I get about him, I want to continue. Yeah, I'm continuing my rant. Too bad. Now, a lot of people have come out and criticized McFarlane Toys for doing Sergeant Rock. But I'll support McFarlane Toys for doing Sergeant Rock. Same reason why I was saying before, growing up reading those kind of comic books, as a kid, you were basically being exposed to serious storytelling. And it wasn't because DC was being forced, oh, we have to make characters that are serious, we have to make characters with different backgrounds. No, they did it out of choice. Like one of the comic books I used to love as a kid was a comic book called Men at War. Okay? The main character was a African-American whose code name was Gravedigger, and his origin was really simple. African-American soldier in the war was assigned to digging graves. Basic commentary on what actually was going on in World War II. Now this guy, of course, becomes a special operative and had fantastic stories that also dealt with racism. This is the same company that had the Green Arrow, Green Lantern series done by Neil Adams, where they dealt with racism and drug use. Wow, never forced to do it. Now there was also the Losers, which wasn't as serious, but you had five groups of the military, working together. Different backgrounds. That was storytelling. Unlike nowadays where everything has to be placated to a minority because they're sensitive and their feelings might get hurt, like the people who complain about McFarlane Toys making a war toy. Same reason why Sergeant Rock doesn't have a gun, because people complain we can't have Warner Brothers allowing toys to be made with guns because we're sensitive. Those people that the companies have been placating, they're trying to appease them to, that force changes not only to DC Comics and to everything else. Like, I won't even get into Marvels. I saw the Marvels movie. There's part of my life I'll never get back. So bad. But these people have forced these companies to literally give in to their demands because their feelings might be hurt. But the thing is this, these people do not support these mediums. How many people you know in this overly sensitive world actually buy comic books? How many of them actually buy action figures? How many? I never see them. If they do, they're a rarity, because I never see them in a comic book store. I never see them at a toy store. I never see these people even walking into these stores because it would hurt their feelings. Oh, it's so sad. Their feelings might be hurt. Everything has to be rainbows and flowers and kittens. No, it doesn't. The real world is not like that. Comic books, at one point, were serious storytelling. Those war comic books that McFarlane obviously must have enjoyed as a kid growing up as well, basically educated you. Okay? Now, before you get the hate comments, oh, you're anti-LGBTQ, I'm not. Okay? Okay? People who know me personally know that I support that community. I just won't wear a rainbow flag because I don't have to. That's the one thing about that Seinfeld episode I agree with Kramer. I don't have to wear a pin or a ribbon or a rainbow shirt to support that community. And part of the reason is because I was raised on war comic books, and those comic books, and the same with the Westerns, those comic books taught me a very special word called respect. I can respect an individual person. I have friends of different backgrounds. As you know, I've shouted him out all the time. Shane, Ireland. Okay, I have a friend, Lisa. She's a writer in the States. I have another friend in New Zealand, Steve Barr. By the way, Steve Barr's movies are fantastic. Shout out, Steve. I love your movies. We might not have the same political views. We might not even have the same religious views. But we can get along because it's a matter of self-respect. It's the same thing with all the people I know in the comic book industry. I've known them over the years. Now, I design characters. If anyone who follows me knows I've designed lots of characters. But I'm not a comic book artist. I never claimed to be. And I respect the people who are comic book artists. I respect the guys who write comics. I'm more of a concept guy. But because I have this mutual respect, we can get along. We can. And I like that. It's the same with people, different backgrounds, different communities, and so forth. There are some places where I know I can't go in the world because of my nickname. Those of you who know me long enough know what that nickname is. And those countries, well, they're a bit too religious even for my taste. I can't put up with that. But for the most part, it's a matter of respect. That's something I find that the medium of toys, comic books, and movies have forgotten. That if respect is a two-way street. It's not like, oh, we want to make sure that this minority that might vote, even though they never do, we don't want to offend them or they, so we have to change things around. We have to gender swap characters, like the Shining Knight they announced. What the heck was that? And that just drives me crazy. And that's why I'm happy they did the war toys. I mean, it's not that I don't think a character can't be a different gender. Like, look at the Question. The Question story, when they changed the Question to a female, was so well done. You didn't have to have it shoved down our throats. It made sense. He's dying. He's passing the mantle on. That made sense. I hate when stuff gets forced down our throats or people complain about an action figure that they're never going to buy. Okay? Rant's over. Let's talk about Sergeant Rock. Okay. Let me catch my breath. I need something to drink now. Because what you don't know is that I'd filmed all of this, unrehearsed, unscripted, and glitch. So it's not exactly the same thing I said, because like I said, I don't always remember what I say. When I start ranting, I rant. Sorry. That's the joy of unscripted, unsupervised me. Also, no rehearsal. Okay. catch my breath, calm down. Let's zone back into the moment, shall we? All right. So I'm happy I got Sergeant Rock, but there are some problems with him. I mean, I do like the card, and I don't mind these bases. I mean, it beats these things. But there are a few things that bother me about this action figure. Now, those of you who've watched my show for a while know that I actually have a 12-inch Sergeant Rock. I love that Sergeant Rock. It is the Sergeant Rock from my comic books that I grew up reading. It's a Sergeant Rock that actually looks like Sergeant Rock. To me, that's great. When they said they're doing Sergeant Rock, I was thinking we'd get something like this. Yes, I have another Sergeant Rock. See, this is Sergeant Rock from the comic books. Shirt open, dog tags on skin, not over the shirt. Oh, look, a gun. The hair, it's not mustard yellow, it's sort of a dirty blonde. You know I'm not too crazy about the hair color on this one, but it's a dirty blonde. No beard. No. He could have a 5 o'clock shadow, because Sergeant Rock quite often had a 5 o'clock shadow. Now, and a proper helmet too, by the way. When I look at this Sergeant Rock, okay, backpack's removable. I like the details in the belt. The body is a reused body. It's Bane, basically. But there are some things I do not like. For example, I mean, he does have spare hands, which is nice. You know, you do details of the hairy arms, it doesn't continue. Little pet peeve there, okay? The fact that his sleeves are torn. I don't remember any Sergeant Rock comic book where he wore his shirt buttoned up or zipped up and no sleeves. This makes me think more of Bulldozer. If you know the character Bulldozer, you know what I'm talking about. Technically speaking, Sergeant Rock would be about that height to Bulldozer. Bulldozer's a big guy, so Sergeant Rock would be 7, Bulldozer would be 8. Now, the helmet does come off. This brings me to a major problem with Sergeant Rock, or this action figure. Look at the hair. That is a mustard yellow hair, and then brown and a beard. Now, the face sculpt itself, I don't mind. He's an angry Sergeant Rock. I don't mind that. But that face makes me think more of a wrestling figure. I don't get the hair. I don't know why they gave him a beard. Sergeant Rock would have 5 o'clock shadow. He never had a beard. In all the war comics I've read, Sergeant Rock never had a full beard. And that is pretty much a full beard, and I actually know what a full beard looks like. So the hair gets me. The fact that the shirt is not open. He should have 2 gun belts. This would have been what they should have based him on. Okay? This is what they should have based him on. This should have been this, because this makes me think more of Bulldozer. And the fact that he doesn't have a gun, he's a World War II character. Hello. Now, I'm happy they did it, though, and I'm hoping they do more. I'm actually hoping that McFarlane Toys takes the hint and keeps on doing these. I really hope so. I would love to see the Unknown Soldier, Gravedigger, the Losers, the rest of Easy Company. I would love to see them. The Haunted Tank, I don't think they could make the tank with that flag, but they could make those characters. And there's nothing wrong to those really weak people out there who don't want to see a war toy. There's nothing wrong with looking at something that was, what, 80 years ago, World War II. Okay? There's nothing wrong with looking at comic books that talked about that time frame. Are you so scared of the history of this world that you can't have a war toy on a shelf? I'm not overly happy with this, but I'm happy they made it. And yes, he will be going on a shelf. I don't have a Sergeant Rock shelf. When I start making displays, which I'm planning on doing, I will probably make a World War II type background display and have the JSA and Sergeant Rock there. So for those people out there who are going, well, I don't know where I'm going to put him in my collection, you have a JSA? Toss him in there. You have Frankenstein, Creature Commandos. Toss them in there. Why not? I'm hoping they do more of these. I'm hoping they make an entire line. I hope they make more Manga Batman toys. I hope they make more World War II DC Comics toys. Because you can't just have Batman all the time. And speaking of Batman, whatever happened to Mother Panic? Yeah, look it up. I'm just saying. I know I ranted a bit today. It's hot, it's humid, and I have mixed feelings with these toys. I mean, Batman manga, front of the shelf. No doubt about it. Love it. Connor Kent, Well, I wish I would have done a proper body bulk for him, because that's just, talking about a skinny body. Sergeant Rock, I'm happy I have him. He looks more like Bulldozer to me. Yeah, definitely Bulldozer. And I probably will go down to a hobby shop that sells those types of model kits, and I will see if I can find a proper World War II gun, because I've seen other people that have given Sergeant Rock an M16. Wrong period of time. That was what he should have. But no, I probably will do that, and yeah. And apart from that, what do you want to see next week? Now, on Monday, I promised it's going to be Mayfex Monday. It's going to be Catwoman. But as a surprise, it's not just going to be the Darwin Cook inspired Catwoman from Hush. It's also going to be this Mayfex Catwoman. Ha! 2 Catwomen! Why not? And for next Friday, I have no idea what to film. I mean, I could do this guy here. Yeah. I also have Joker Punchline, Killer Croc, Glow in the Dark, Kryptonite Doomsday, Metallo, Fire, Max Mercury, Booster Gold, which I keep on forgetting about, Vampire Shazam. Now, Cyborg Superman, I will be waiting for Metallo. So I just realized the camera didn't see him. Metallo, Fire, Max Mercury, Booster Gold, Vampire, Cyborg Superman, I'm going to wait till the following Monday when I do the Mayfex Cyborg Superman. But let me know next week what you want to see next Friday. Now, the reason why I'm asking is because, well, my daughter, who is to be known on the Mad Montreal Man page as Notorious Nikon, well, my youngest daughter is coming to visit for a week. So I'll probably be filming next Friday's episode on Wednesday. I know, normally I film this the day of, but she's here for a week, and I want to spend as much time with her doing stuff, father-daughter stuff that I don't get to do that much anymore. We're gonna go see Les Mis, by the way. But so let me know next Wednesday what you'd want to see on the Friday episode, and what I'll do is I'll probably film it on Wednesday and have it that will premiere on Friday night. The same will be for the Cyborg Superman Mayfex. That's going to be the following Monday. I'll probably pre-film that because I only have a week and I want to spend it with my daughter. Sorry. Which brings up another point. Oh, I'm going on. Yeah, it's not a rant, but this is an open invitation. Okay? So to my buddy Casey, I just want to say thank you. Not only do you provide great customer service at the GameStop at Rito, you're also a great guy. I consider you a friend, and you have an open invitation. Anytime you want to be on the show, come on. Let me know. Come on over. Okay? If you just want to come by and watch me film the show, that'd be a bit weird, but you're invited. The same goes for Bob and Miles, who work at GameStop Rito. If you want to come down and be on the show with me, that'd be great. It'd be nice to have that interaction with somebody else. I would invite Chris, the manager, but I don't think Chris would want to come down and talk toys. He's a nice guy, but I don't think he'd want to hang out with me. Yeah. The same thing goes too for any of my friends, for example, who work in the comic book industry. Jeff, open invitation. When you're back from the conventions and you're back in Ottawa, I would love to have you on the show. We'll talk about your comic books. We'll talk about your career. Hey, we don't even have to do it on the peg. We can do it on the Mad Montreal Man page. Yes, editor, I know we haven't done anything on that page for a while. It's my other YouTube channel. 2 shows a week. I'm kind of burnt out. Okay? Plus, I'm job hunting. But I'd love to have Jeff, any of my buddies from Vancouver. Jason Copeland, by the way. Jason, if you're ever in town, please let me know. I would love to have you either on this channel or on my other channel. And if you don't know, Jason's got a graphic novel out there called Full Tilt. Buy it. He did Kill All Monsters. Buy it. Go to your chapters, go to your bookstores and get it. Jason's a great comic book artist. He's a great independent artist. I love him. Same thing for Nick Bradshaw. Nick, if you ever want to be on the show, you're more than welcome. Give me a shout. If you're a fellow collector that knows me, let me know. I'd like to have some, some bit of, little bit of going back and forth, because it's nice to have other people's opinions. Shane, of course, if you're ever in Ottawa, you have no choice. You have no choice. You will be here. You have no choice. But that's pretty much it. It's an open invitation to people who know me. If you're a local comic book artist that I don't know, hit me up. Let me know. I love supporting comic book artists. If you do like custom collectibles, let me know. I would love to have you on the show. It's not just going to be me always yakking away, ranting. Even though it does seem like it's going to be like that until I'm dead. Crazy. But no, that'd be nice to have. And like I said, I also have my other show, and like I said, if you are one of those guys, you don't want to talk about action figures, we can talk about comics. We can talk about other things. We can sit in the library, I'll set up the microphones, the lights in there, we can have a show in there. But this is an open invitation, especially to the guys like GameStop, like Casey. I would love to have you on the show because, you know, you work at GameStop, especially at the Rito Center, which is the best one in Canada. You guys have your own collections, you have your own stuff you do, and I would love to have you on the show and just have some fun. I'll pour the scotch, I'll pour the absinthe, we'll have a great show. Just no beer, because beer's boring. Unless you really want beer, just stay. But no. That's pretty much it. It's been a very weird episode filming today with camera glitches, microphone problems. You won't see it because the microphone got unhooked, so like 4 minutes of recording, well, if I put it on, you'd see this. So it's been a weird technical day. Hopefully everything goes better. But it's something you have to deal with. It's part of life. It's like the world's burning or drowning. It depends where you are in the world. You know, some people deny global warming. Some people's feelings might be hurt by what I said. Who cares? I don't. I'm Gen X. Some Gen Xers are annoying too, by the way. I don't support all Gen X. I'm off that TikTok thing because it's stupid. Like my video, like you. No, I don't want to hear all your comments because it's all the same shit over and over again. Please. If I follow you on TikToks, I follow you because I think you're funny and entertaining, because that's what TikTok's supposed to be for me, or ranting. But no, with the way the world is, especially with the kind of day today's been with technical glitches and the humidity. Gotta love the humidity here. Yeah, you gotta do your best to keep your body, your mind, your spirit, and of course, your mental health. You gotta do this. So listen to me. 2 simple words. Stay healthy! Do I need to repeat myself? You must stay healthy. You have to. How else are you going to survive the apocalypse that's around the corner every day of the week? And of course, one of the ways to stay healthy is, of course, you got to find that one thing in life. Maybe 2 or 3. But you got to find something in life, like toys, front of shelf Batman manga, to stay happy. Just do it. Stay happy. Even if it's just for like 5 minutes a day. Find that little thing that makes you smile. And of course, those of you who know me know this is a persona. I am not like this 24/7 a day, because that'd be weird. Can you imagine if I was like this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Wow. You think I'm single now? Whew, I'd be locked up, right room. No, this is a persona. Like all comedians, I put this on, hide my true feelings, because it's my way to stay positive. And you have to. You have to do that. Fake it if you have to. But if you fake it enough times, you get really good at faking it. But no, do your best in this insanity. Stay positive. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Have a great start Monday morning. Shane, have a good breakfast. And like I said, Casey, my door's always open for you. You're always welcome to knock on my door, come in and go, holy crap, you got too many. There's never enough action figures. Just saying. And as for once the Mayflex Mondays are open and done, we'll be doing marbles again. I did manage to pick up a Warbird. So that's something else you can look forward to in the coming weeks. But that's it for now. Like I said, let me know by Wednesday what you want to see so I can film that show before Nick goes here. Jazz hands. And take care of yourselves out there, because let's be honest, who's going to take care of us? Ourselves. I'll see you on Monday. this thing on. Got to think about what I'm going to say. Just, does this change color? Sometimes it does. Boop, here we go. 2 microphones. Love you. Wow, this is a horrible warm-up.